Hi there. November is Native American Heritage Month, and so I thought it would be appropriate to read a book by a Native American author, Angelina Boulley. This week's book is called Warrior Girl Unearthed, and it is a mystery story about a girl, a teenager who is part of the Ojibwe tribe. Um, and it is written by the same author who wrote Firekeeper's Daughter. If anybody who read that, and it actually has some of the same characters, although it's not exactly a sequel. And it becomes it's about a girl whose summer job it is to work with people in her tribe to try to return some artifacts that belong to their tribe that are stored in museums and in other places. But she becomes very upset and very involved in learning about the way their ancestors' bodies and artifacts are being taken advantage of for profit by other people. This is a real problem. It's a very big concern. It's something that's happening in and being discussed in museums and other places all over the world. A lot of major museums are in conversations about how to safely and fairly return ancestors to their native places. And so there's a lot of action in this book. There's a lot of opportunities for understanding, and I hope you like it. For the 108,328 ancestors still held by institutions and those working to bring them home. Week 1. When questioned by an anthropologist on what the Indians called America before the white man came, an Indian simply said, "Ours." Vine Deloria Jr., Custer Died for Your Sins, an Indian Manifesto. Chapter 1, Monday, June 9th. I speed across Sugar Island in the Jeep I share with my sister. The rising sun escapes the tree line to my left. I adjust the sun visor against the blinding brightness. It's what good drivers are supposed to do, minimize distractions. Focusing on the road ahead, I watch for cultural camp signage. Next to me, Pauline makes a production of craning her neck to check the speedometer, shaking her head and sighing. I take it as a challenge, smoothly shifting into fifth gear while rounding a corner. The tires squeal. Remember what Auntie Donna said, she warns. About our birthday gift that came with a bonus scolding, I say. Happy sweet 16, my girls, Pauline imitates Auntie's slightly deeper voice. Enjoy this good pony, but... I interrupt, practically growling. But hear me now, I will repossess her and kick your asses if I catch you being foolish. We laugh in twin harmony. I don't mention Auntie's next words, directed solely to me, and that includes speeding. Why are you in such a hurry? Pauline says. It's not like you have anything going on. My sister irritates me like nobody else. I glare at her. Hold up. You're not still mad about last week. Seriously? A week of touring universities was torture for poor Perry? It was supposed to inspire you. She drags out the word, inspire. It cost me a week of fishing. She huffs. Well, I wish you hadn't come. Then no one would have suffered Elvis Jr.'s atomic farts. I for sure weaponized our stinky dog, who gets hella gassy from people food. I hide my smirk while checking out a faded sign announcing that the Sugar Island Ojibwe tribe's cultural camp is a quarter-mile ahead. Oh my God, Pauline continues, still sensing my annoyance. With an extra syllable and some shade, it sounds like God. It was just a few schools. 9 universities. I repeat the number in Ojibwe Moin. Jean Guswe. She turns at my sharp tone. I feel her eyes on me without even looking over. My voice softens in tandem with slowing down for the coming turn. Pauline, it was 9 places I'd never get into even if I wanted to go, which I don't. I tap my brakes while using my left turn blinker, because you never know who's watching and reporting back to Auntie. I don't want to be anywhere except Sugar Island. Never leave Sugar Island, she asks, in that same surprised and judgy way she uses, like never ever. Never ever sounds good to me, I say, making the turn. There are other schools you might like, you know. Mackinac State College is my safety. You could apply there. Nah, all the statues there are all old Zaganash dudes, non-natives, colonizers. You really want to study where women and people of color are invisible? Ignoring me, Pauline checks for any strands that might have escaped her tightly wound bun of jet black hair. She pauses, a hand at her ear, smoothing the area. You look good, Egg, I assure her. She rolls her eyes at her private nickname, which allows the tiniest smile to break through. The narrow dirt road is an obstacle course of curves, dips, and bumps that continues for half a mile. It ends in a loop at a dilapidated log building where our tribe used to hold camps for learning stuff, like how to smoke whitefish or make maple syrup. Why's the tribe having the summer interns come here for orientation instead of the bougie new camp in town? Isn't this place condemned? I ask while pulling up to the entrance. As usual, my sister knows the answer to everything. No Wi-Fi, no decent cell phone signals. She uses the visor mirror to apply the coral pink lip gloss that pops against her blemish-free dark complexion, to immerse us in culture without distractions. More like immersed in mosquitoes. I grab the can of bug spray from the center console. Pauline takes it before reaching for the door handle. She waves to a group of friends dressed like her in short floral print rompers and wedge sneakers. They hug as if it's been a year instead of a week since they last saw each other. My sister offers mosquito repellent and is praised for her smart thinking. She stretches a long, slender brown leg coated in shimmery body lotion for someone to spray on the bug dope. A loud bang jolts my attention. Lucas Chipaway stands in front of the Jeep, palm raised over the dark green hood. He follows up with another crisp beat. Before he can launch into a drum solo, I tap the horn and roll down the window. Move it along, Luke ass, I say. He breaks into the lopsided grin that makes him a certified hottie to everyone except Pauline and me. Woke you up, he says. Hey, sorry I couldn't give Pauline a ride this morning. Had to stay at Granny's last night, and I didn't think I'd get back on the island in time. Lucas nods hello to a trio of girls taking selfies they won't be able to post until later. They giggle before turning their backs to him. He pretends not to notice when they angle their phones to include his mischievous smile and compact muscular body in the background. You regret not getting an internship? He struts over to my window. $400 a week for 10 weeks. That's serious bank. Do I regret skipping the interview to go fishing? I laugh at my own joke before faking stone-cold seriousness. Guess what, hey? Pauline got assigned to intern with tribal council. The only high school student to ever get placed with them in the history of the Kinomage summer internship program. I delight in making fun of my sister, but I'd never do it in front of anyone but Lucas. I may have heard. Should I ask her anyway? He absent-mindedly flicks away a mosquito that dares to land on his bronze skin. Please do. Tell her you heard that interns were selected on grades. It's what I told Mom and Pop so they'd stop asking me about it. Pauline shouts for Lucas and motions toward the building entrance. Gotta go, Pear Bear. Sorry you ain't me. He flashes his trademark grin. Too bad, so sad, gonna fish with my dog and my dad. I riff to the tune of MIA's Bad Girls. Back on the road, I floor it for the best possible reason, just because. Just because the Jeep is mine while Pauline is at her internship orientation all day. Just because I can already taste the fish I will catch today and fry tonight. Just because I survived last week's college visits, which stole the first precious days of my summer vacation. I trill a fierce high-pitched Lily to begin the Perry Firekeeper Birch 2014 Summer of Slack. My loose hair whips around my face like a tornado. I crank the music and sing along with MIA. Live fast, die young, bad girls do it well. Up ahead, someone crosses the road. I recognize the thin, long-limbed guy dressed in black. Stormy Noden used to be my Uncle Levi's best friend. I tap the brakes and dial down my music. Anin, I greet him. He raises his chin in acknowledgement. Ando Bambamis Spi Zoda, I offer, though he has never accepted a ride from me. He declines with a quick hand motion. I try with another invitation, this time for fish dinner tonight. Onagoshi Wishinida. Giguna, Giga Min Jimin. He immediately accepts with a head nod. My best fishing spot better come through because, as skinny as he is, Stormy Noden has an enormous appetite. Bama P, I say, with a wave. My tires kick up roadside gravel as I race home. The fat black dog comes out of nowhere. Not a dog, a bear cub, dashing across the road. Sick dread jolts through my body. In the instant it takes for my foot to reach the brake pedal, I am already following my parents' repeated instructions. Tap, slow down. Tap, don't swerve. The cub disappears into the ditch. Tap, where there's one, there's two, my parents echo in unison. I blink, and the mama bear is there, rushing after her cub. My heart skips a beat when she halts in my path. I swerve before my parents can repeat themselves. The Jeep shoots across a gravel driveway. I aim for lilac bushes, but skid toward a metal gate instead. I close my eyes as metal grinds against metal and something explodes in my face. The deployed airbag blocks my view. My heart thumps at triple pace. I take a deep breath. The crossbody seatbelt is tight against my chest. Uncomfortable but not painful. I can move my arms and legs. I'm okay. Grab your phone, begin recording, and get out of the vehicle as quickly as possible, Pop's voice instructs. Use the 3-in-1 tool tied to the door handle to cut through both straps of the seatbelt. Don't forget to take the emergency cell phone from the center console. Get a safe distance away. Continue recording your surroundings and the vehicle. I aim the phone camera at the steam rising from the hood of the Jeep as I back away. Use the emergency cell phone alert button so that me, Mom, Aunt Donis, and your sister get a call and a text with your location. I pause before pushing the alert button. My heart rate is back to normal. The radiator is damaged, but I think that's all. This was more like a fender bender than a major accident. Pops is on his way downstate for something he bought on Craigslist. Pauline is at orientation. Mom is at work. Auntie? No way. I hear her warning again about being foolish. But I wasn't being reckless. It was a bear. Everything happened so quickly. I could walk back to Stormy Noden, but unless prayers and Ojibwe will fix a radiator, the traditional healer won't be much help. I need to get the Jeep off Sugar Island and into a repair shop. Although Pops can fix anything, Auntie wanted Pauline and me to be responsible for the cost of upkeep and repairs. With the birthday and babysitting money in my bank account, I can cover a wrecker. Jack's Towing has a radio ad with a deep-voiced guy repeating their phone number and saying, "Anytime you call, I'll come for you." Once when I was in Auntie's car with Granny June, the ad played on the radio. Auntie mentioned wanting to file a complaint. Granny yelled, "The hell you will! Cheap thrills are all I can afford." I use the emergency phone to call the number I know because of their radio ad. I keep recording while I wait for Jack. Since I don't need the bulky emergency phone for anything else, I shove it into the back of my jeans. Storing a phone near your butt crack isn't as funny as it might seem. Pops wants us to take every situation seriously. Dark-skinned men, whether they're Anishinaabe or black or both like Pops, don't screw around with their kids' safety. I pass the time trying to envision a scenario where Auntie doesn't get mad about the Jeep. 30 minutes later, the wrecker truck barrels down the road, and I have yet to come up with anything. When Jack gets closer, I see a tribal police vehicle following the wrecker. Jack pulls over just beyond the private drive. The cop car stays a few yards behind the accident scene. I recognize the cop getting out of the vehicle and shut off the recording. Officer Sam Hill is harmless. Everybody calls him "what the," as in, "What the Sam Hill?" It's an old-timey saying that I don't understand, but I do get how nicknames can be weird. He used to be the safety officer at the tribal elementary school. What the heads over. "Miigwech, Jack." I get to the point, handing over my debit card. "Can you take it to your brother's body shop?" If Jack and Zach are twins, I'll ask for a twin discount. "He knows it's coming?" Jack's voice doesn't sound as deep as it does on the radio ad. "I'll call from your truck." What the chimes in. "How'd it happen, Perry?" "Bear." I cheese a huge smile. There's no reason to question anything. I wasn't at fault. No need for a ticket. No need to search me. And no need to inform the tribal police captain. Jack hooks the Jeep's tow hitch to the wrecker. Officer Whatha leaves with a wave. Still smiling, I climb into Jack's truck for the ride to Zach's body shop in town. My ears ring with Pauline's familiar beef about me. Must be nice to stroll through life with no worries. My reply always pisses her off. It sure is. One look at Auntie Donna's ruins my fried perch feast. She stomps toward the campfire with her huge dark eyes blazing. Her messy brunette top knot adds 3 inches to her already considerable height. And with the stacked heels and her black ankle boots, she's halfway between 6 and 7 feet. Auntie could be the medicine man's twin, dressed in black jeans and a black Henley. Her slash of red lipstick is pressed in a disapproving glower. I silently curse whoever snitched. Jack, Zach, Officer Whatha, anyone on the ferry to the mainland. Everyone except Stormy Noden, because he speaks only to pray. Conveniently, Mom and Pops go inside the house for more potato salad. Pauline is as mute as Stormy, who's filling up on perch like it's his last meal. Even Elvis Jr. goes silent. Closing my eyes, I brace for impact. Were you speeding? It was a bear and her cub. Were you speeding? She repeats. A bit. You speed like that with my kid in your car? No. Jack says 3,200 in damages, Auntie says. Pauline looks like she's going to burst into tears. Screw that. I ain't scared. I'll work out something with him, I say evenly. One of Auntie's eyebrows arches. Now I'm scared. I paid Zach. You owe me, she said. His terms would have been better. Zach says he'd accept an IOU with 2 years of interest for when I turn 18 and start getting per cap, the profit-sharing dividends that our tribal citizens receive from the Superior Shores Casino. I'm tempted to mention that the Jeep's bumper was duct taped to the frame a long time ago. The metal gate was not its first battle. That good pony has seen some stuff. My sister's a genius, but I'm not an idiot. I await Auntie's sentencing. The Kino Mage program has one internship spot still open. You start tomorrow at 9 a.m. Every paycheck will be turned over to me until your debt is paid in full. You don't drive it until then. Show up at the tribal museum. Your supervisor is Cooper Turtle. Pauline gasped loudly, but I feel the sharp intake in my own lungs. And with that, my summer of slack goes up in smoke, just because.